Hi there, it's Donovan, and I'm in a dire need to form a team, and I just don't want to put in the time or effort into building up said team, so I'm gonna just steal one really quick.
Oh golly gee, look at me. I have such popular and recognizable toys in my collection. Hey wait, that's mine! Company acquisitions can change a lot in the video game landscape and can either set companies up for success or drag them to the depths of hell. They're huge deals that can end up changing the output of games companies make. They're breaking news not just because of their absolutely insane prices, but the potential and/or fear they hold for the future of games. Acquisitions always take place in order to strengthen a company. It's always for the better. But it's always hilarious to see other companies writhe in pain when their baby gets taken away.
No! Let her go! You can't take her! Let go, please! You can't take her! Let her go!
Mergers are pretty similar to acquisitions where two companies combine to form a new one. Activision Blizzard, we'll get back to that one. Bandai and Namco were merged in order to combine both of their expertises into one powerful brand. Bandai for their strengths in character merchandising and Namco for their games. It's unfortunate that with all of that manpower, they still managed to make their logo 10 times more simplified. Squaresoft and Enix formed to make Square Enix and has become an absolute powerhouse in RPGs. Both were making RPGs and were directly competing against each other, their biggest enemies. But when it came to lowering development costs and having a stronger Western demographic, they more than gladly merged together. Sega Sammy, this is an interesting one. Yeah, if you didn't know, Sega is actually owned by a larger corporation, Sammy, which makes bank by capitalizing on the misfortunes of men. I mean gambling. Now, pachinko machines aren't seen with the best light in Japan, and Sammy knows this. Does it look like they care? So, because of Sega's hardware specialty, they merged together. But why the hell does Sega get to be the first name if it's the little guy? Well, that's because Sammy also acquired Sega for its family-friendly image. Would you want to invest into the company that actively ruins people's lives by tormenting them into an endless cycle of pain and suffering just to get a quick little buck so little Timmy can have some pancakes and bacon in the morning? Or in a funny hedgehog. Alright, let's move into true acquisitions now. Most of these are the results of companies looking to expand their IPs and development efforts, and this little green shit. We all know that deep inside, Zuckerberg is that little green shit.
But I am telling you right now, that back there is not real.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Meta bought Oculus, which made a name for itself with their virtual reality headsets. Oculus has been a major player in the VR space and has been pioneering VR technology. Though in niche market, VR games continue to grow vast in its scope. Odd choice for Meta to acquire at first, but now, I can see the hell they're putting them through.
Hello there.
Beat Saber has a passionate community.
I love Beat Saber.
Activision Blizzard is back, and it won't be their last appearance as they acquired King, who most notably runs your aunt's favorite pastime, Candy Crush. Now you may be thinking Call of Duty and Candy Crush do not go well together, but they don't give a damn. Candy Crush makes loads of cash, taking advantage of your grandma's poor miserable life. I'm seeing a pattern here. And yeah, mobile games do make monstrous amounts of cash, way more than traditional AAA games. Apple makes more money from games compared to Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo combined. Tencent has bought countless gaming studios, but aren't the biggest offenders compared to this damn guy. The companies they buy have something very common in their games, that being the reasons why you've been kicked out of the house. They've bought Riot Games, who have destroyed the lives of a generation, but their big one has to be the purchase of Supercell. I have this strange laughing sound in the back of my head, and it won't go away. Let's talk about the company Zynga. What the fuck is a Zynga? Again, mobile games are so much bigger than what you would expect, and Zynga is behind some of these groundbreaking games, like Crosswords with Friends, or Words with Friends Classic, or goddamn Picker 3D. They are a huge mobile game developer and have made their fair share of acquisitions. They've bought, I think the only ones I've heard of is Small Giant Games and Peak, and I don't fully know what they make. All you gotta know is that all they care about is money. But even a company as apparently big as Zynga can be thrown into the checkout aisle. In 2022, Take-Two bought out Zynga for a whopping $12 billion. NBA 2K and Toon Blast are distant cousins. I don't want to know what their family Thanksgiving is like. Sony and Nintendo don't purchase as many companies like the others, but occasionally do to increase their IPs or help with technical assistance. Sony has bought companies like Insomniac, finally making games like Spider-Man and Ratchet & Clank first-party franchises. And Nintendo has bought companies like Next Level Games, Retro Studios, and Monolith Soft, who not only make their own games, but help a ton with technical assistance, especially Monolith Soft. They've been helping out with loads of AAA Nintendo games for a long time now, and it is a very welcome relationship. But at long last, we have arrived to the final boss of gaming acquisitions, a name that strikes fear to all who oppose their wallets. The creators of Internet Explorer. Microsoft is huge. Do I need to elaborate? Their name's a lie! But the amount of money they have in an acquisition is just another day at Walmart. They are infamous for buying up companies left and right, so let's take a look at some of them. From the beginning, when they were just getting started in video games, they took away one of Nintendo's greatest assets. Rare was a key Nintendo developer in the 90s and has helped create some legendary games for them during that time. But when Rare started to look for a parent company, Nintendo didn't buy them. Instead, here comes Daddy Microsoft. Instead of building up our own teams, why don't we just steal them? You can't do that. That's cheating! Nintendo probably didn't buy Rare because they didn't see much value in them anymore, which is all kinds of confusing, but also might have been due to the cost of keeping them afloat and as a second-party developer. Also, you can't compete with Gates Cash over here, and so there went Rare, a once proud Nintendo developer, now owned by Xbox. And man, did they get abused. But that's not the only company they stole. Did you know Halo wasn't originally developed for Xbox? Yeah, Halo, the face of Xbox, was just bought by Microsoft and forced onto the platform. It was actually originally being developed for macOS. What a fucking world I'd be living in. Microsoft acquired Bungie, which was a 10,000 IQ play that put Xbox on the map. Though after the original Halo trilogy was finished, Bungie split off from Microsoft to be its own entity, and then it was bought by Sony. What a weird world this is. But Microsoft wouldn't stop there. No, they were just getting started. Microsoft bought Mojang and now own the most popular game in existence, though it came at a price. Minecraft pre-Microsoft feels very different compared to now and have changed the type of content Minecraft outputs for the better or worse. Back then, updates brought in loads of features and the game was pretty consumer friendly. Now updates are spread out yearly and could be amazing or fucking busy bees. It seems like Minecraft is just gonna be milked on forever and ever and is now monetized with the marketplace. Everything feels more controlled and there are 2 damn versions of the game. It can't get any more complicated. But the acquisition has helped propel Minecraft into ultimate stardom and has become such a lucrative game. And then they started getting crazier, buying studios left and right for insane amounts of money. It was ridiculous. People began predicting every year what company they'd buy. Microsoft has also bought many studios and have unfortunately run them to the ground, and EA is no stranger to doing this as well. They broke news with the huge acquisition of Bethesda, bringing games like Doom and The Elder Scrolls under the Xbox name. That's outrageous. But then, oh boy, they made the biggest acquisition in gaming history. Ah shit, these clowns are back for a whopping $68 billion. They claimed Activision Blizzard as their own, bringing in Starfield, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Candy Crush, and Call of Duty, and so much more under Xbox. This was earth-shattering. People beginning to realize that Microsoft really can just buy whatever they want and make it their own. This resulted in a year-long legal battle to see if Microsoft's purchase was creating a monopoly on the gaming industry. And Microsoft isn't a stranger to monopoly accusations. PlayStation was furious and was doing everything in their power to stop this acquisition from happening, and were very concerned for COD's future on PlayStation. They were throwing hands, calling bullshit from Microsoft, and even throwing Nintendo under the bus in efforts to stop this no matter the cost. But alas, the deal went through. Microsoft even signed a decade-long binding contract with Sony and Nintendo to put COD on their platforms. But we know the true reason to these acquisitions. The Xbox's first-party games have been pretty lackluster compared to the PlayStation and Nintendo, and Microsoft knows this. They've been in a losing battle when it comes to the exclusives, and they've even admitted they lost the console wars. They know exclusives are what drive people to buy systems, while Nintendo basically survives off of them. Microsoft is trying to be smart with all of this, and is building their arsenal of exclusive games to compete with Sony and Nintendo in order to draw more people to not just their Xbox consoles, but Xbox Game Pass, which they see as the future of their business. Though it is funny to see how Xbox has basically given up and resorted to stealing away their competition. I don't have time to build up these teams, I'll just buy them up instead. It's another day at fucking Walmart. Microsoft is rich AF and have made some huge power plays to get those sweet exclusives. But I have saved the most mind-boggling acquisition for last. Sega bought Rovio. Step aside, Sonic. Angry Birds Forces is looking like a masterpiece.